There comes a moment in every believer life when you realize if God doesn't do it, it won't get done. Not because you're lazy, not because you didn't try, but because you've reached the end of your strength and you need His. This is for the person who is trying to figure out how to survive a season that feels bigger than your resources, deeper than your money, stronger than your ability, and heavier than your understanding. This is for the one saying, God, I can't fix this. If you don't show up, I'm not going to make it. Today, we are talking about faith for the impossible. When you need God to provide what you cannot produce on your own. There comes a point in your life, especially after 40, 50, and 60, and beyond, where you realize you don't bounce back the way you used to. Your safety net is thinner, your margin is smaller, and your responsibilities are bigger. Your strength doesn't stretch the way it used to, and sometimes your faith feels tired too. You live long enough to know bills don't care about prayer hands emojis. Unexpected expenses show up at the worst time, and the car never breaks down when you're financially prepared. It breaks down right when things are just starting to stabilize. You've lived long enough to know what it feels like to look at a bill and feel your chest get tight. Watch something decline in your bank account and whisper, Lord, please be faithful, but still feels financially stretched. Give and still be unsure how the month is going to balance. Trust God, but still battle anxiety. Be the strong one for everyone else, but quietly panic on the inside. There is a weight that comes with adulthood. There's a heaviness that comes with responsibility. And there's a pressure that comes with believing God for things you cannot make happen. But this is where impossible provision is born. The blessing you're waiting for is bigger than your ability. That's why God hasn't let you produce it. Sometimes God will allow you to run out of your resources so you can discover His. It's not to punish you, not to embarrass you, not to make you struggle, but to remind you you were never meant to carry life alone. Sometimes God lets the job close, the hours get cut, the support fade, and help disappear, or the opportunities stall. Think about the widow in 2 Kings 4. She didn't have enough. She didn't have provision. She didn't have a way out, but she had God. And God multiplied what she thought was insignificant. Her story wasn't about oil. It was about God stepping into a situation she couldn't fix. Just like He's about to step into yours. Let's talk real. There are times when you show up at your computer and stare at a blank screen thinking, how am I going to make it? How am I going to afford this? How am I going to build this business at my age? How am I going to take care of my family? How am I going to retire? God, how am I going to survive this? You smile at work, but secretly panic at home. You encourage others, but cry in the shower. You pray, but sometimes your fear prays louder. You're not wrong. You're not faithless. You're human. But here's what God wants you to know. Your how is my specialty. Impossible provisions is when God provides in such a way that you know only He could have done it. If it were possible for you to do it, God wouldn't have waited this long to step in. Every impossible provision story has a moment where you feel like you're losing the battle. That last for a moment, that God, I'm about to break moment, that I don't know how much more I can take moment. For some, it's bills due and no raise. Fixed income, but rising expense. Responsibility increases, but support decreases. Medical bills stacking, savings thinning, job security shifting, inflation climbing, opportunity shrinking, credit score failing, and anxiety rising. And the enemy whispered, "This is it. You're finished. It won't work this time." But hear me. This is always the moment right before God moves. Always. God doesn't step in early. He waits until the moment where the miracle will have the biggest impact. When your hands are empty enough for Him to fill them. God has a pattern, a rhythm, a divine strategy. Every time He provides, it follows the same sequence. He lets you exhaust your strength first, not to hurt you, but to free you. The second thing He does is He allows you to see the limits of humans' help. Come on. So you stop placing your faith in people. The third thing He'll do is He'll position you where no one can take credit for it. So the blessing is unmistakably God engineered. And number 4, He shows up suddenly, without warning, without explanation, without needing permission. And 5, He provides more than what you ask for, because God never just meets a need. He exceeds the need. When God provides, He does it in a way that makes your old fear look foolish. You are standing in the exact place where God does His best miracles, the place where you can't fix it. Can I talk directly to your heart? By now, you survived things that should have broke you. You made it through seasons people don't even know you endured. You walked through storms you never told anyone about. And yet, here you are. Still believing, still standing, still fighting, still trusting, still expecting. You know what that means? God isn't finished with you. If He was, the attack would have taken you out. The lack would have crushed you. The fear would have drowned you. The anxiety would have suffocated you. And the setback would have stopped you. But nothing stopped you. Nothing, hear me, nothing. Which means you are being positioned for something bigger than anything you ever lived through. Something is shifting. You can feel it. You can sense it. You can't explain it, but your spirit knows something is coming. Every closed door, every disappointing outcome, every unexpected bill, every no, every delay, it wasn't rejection. It was redirection. God is not withholding from you. He's preparing you for something. Something above what you qualified for. Something beyond your resume. Something that outgrows your income. Something that exceeds your skill. Something that will require faith. Because impossible provision always birth impossible testimonies. So here it is. The reason God hasn't answered you is because He's setting up a blessing that will leave you speechless. You know, that kind that comes through an unexpected message, an unexpected opportunity, an unexpected connection, an unexpected deposit, an unexpected yes, an unexpected open door, the kind you couldn't hustle for, market for, work overtime for, beg for, or forced into existence, the kind only God can supply. Ask yourself, what if the very thing I fear running out of is the thing God is getting ready to multiply? What if this tight season is the setup for overflow? What if God is not punishing me? He's positioning me. What if the blessing I'm waiting on needs a little more time to align perfectly? What if God is withholding nothing? He's simply perfecting everything. What if this impossible place is the birthplace of my next testimony? Hear me clearly. You will not lack. You will not break. You will not crumble. You will not be abandoned. You will not be left behind. You serve the God who fed thousands with a few loaves. You serve the God who multiplied empty jars. You serve the God who brings water from rocks. You serve the God who commands ravens to bring food to his people. If he can do all that, he can handle your situation too. You are not waiting on money. You are not waiting on people. You are not waiting on opportunity. You're waiting on God. And God is always worth the wait. This is your reminder. Impossible provisions is God's specialty. And you are next. If this bless you in any way, subscribe and stay connected as we continue our faith journey that heals, restores, and builds your next Get in line. Let's go.